Hey guys, so today I'm going to be showing you my Osprey Daylite hiking bag. This is going to be a pretty simple video. I'm not going to waste your time with introductions or flashy music, so yeah, let's just hop right into it. So just a little bit of quick history. Back in 2018, I had a seasonal job in Glacier National Park, and at the end of the season, they gave us these bags. That's why it says Glacier Staff 2018 on it. And yeah, since then I've been hiking with it and using it in the city pretty much every single day. And it's been fantastic. But just a quick note before we start, this is the 2018 edition. If you look at like Amazon or anything online, you'll see something that looks a little bit different, but Osprey claims that the new edition is identical to the previous, except for in terms of appearance. So just to get some basics out of the way, this bag is not that big. I would not consider it a packable day pack though, like you can't like stuff it into your suitcase if you're traveling or something like that. It does weigh about 20 ounces, that's I believe 560 grams for non-Americans. And they have two different editions compared to the basic. They have the Daylight Cinch, which is like tiny, and then they have the Plus, which is a bigger version of it. I haven't personally tried those. I've heard nothing but good things, but I'm not going to be speaking on those today. We're just going to be talking about the basic Daylite bag. In terms of aesthetics, this bag is pretty generic. It is your classic like outdoorsy look. I don't know if this version came in any different colors. You can see it's just kind of like grayish, black and blue. Not very exciting. But the new version that you can find on Amazon and whatnot, I noticed they had like 15 colors. You can get it in like plain black, or you can get it in this like nice like beige, blue, outdoorsy looking combo. Some nice color options now. So next up, let's talk about the most important thing, comfort when you're actually hiking in it. So the bag does have some padded straps. They're kind of thin, but honestly they are pretty effective. I found that as long as I didn't weigh down my pack too substantially, they usually felt comfortable for generally up to like 13 miles at least, until I started to get some like back and shoulder aches and that sort of thing. The bag also has hip and chest straps. They are pretty effective, but they lack padding, so I've noticed on longer hikes the chest strap like really starts to dig in, but I do have a very bony chest, so that might have something to do with it. So yeah, I generally find the bag to be super comfortable. Like I said prior, it usually feels good until about 13 to 15 miles in. Then it starts to really wear down on me. Shoulders start to ache, back starts to hurt, like hip starts to hurt a little bit, but that might not be related to the bag. Maybe I'm just out of shape. So yeah, pretty good. Next up, I'd like to talk about one of the negative points of this bag, and that is these side pockets. So when I hike, I generally don't like to use like hydration packs, like canvas and that sort of thing. I usually bring a hydro flask or a Nalgene, and every other bag I've had, I just stuff it in the side, hike, and it's good. But with these, I don't know what it is about these, but these side pockets suck. Like, they're incredibly shallow, they're super thin, they're super loose. Everything I put in these just drops right out. So I generally don't put my hydro flask in there. I usually put it inside, which is kind of a pain, takes up a lot of space. But on the flip side of things, there are these straps on the side here, and what I've done with these is I've used them to clamp in my tripod for my camera, that the camera is sitting on right now, as a matter of fact, in addition to sandals, flip-flops, that sort of thing when I'm going to the beach. And yeah, so these side pockets, not very good for like hydro flasks and Nalgenes, but you can put sandals on here, I guess, and tripods. So another feature of this bag is the ventilated back. So if you look on the back of the backpack here, that's a lot of backs, you'll see this kind of mesh webbing fabric thing. So that just acts as a ventilation system for your back, and I found it to be pretty effective. I tend to avoid heat. I'm currently shooting this about 3,000 feet from Lake Michigan, so it's a nice 55 degrees here, not complaining. But back in summer, I ended up going to New Mexico. Usually I'd avoid the desert, but my girlfriend's parents are from there, so we went to visit them. And we hiked up the Sandia Mountains. It was about 100 degrees. I was dying, but my back was not sweaty, so I think it did the job. So yeah, next up we're gonna look inside the bag. So the front pocket here, it's not that big. It's about 10 inches deep. And I usually put like my phone, some snacks, that sort of thing in here. And there's also two lidded pockets in here for organization. I usually use those for band-aids, some first aid stuff, like lidded things like that. So next up you have the big pocket. The big pocket is massive. Generally, like I said, I don't put my Nalgene in the side, I put it inside of the bag. So generally I have my Nalgene, my camera, and like a hoodie or some extra socks, some extra clothes depending on the conditions. And it's a bit of a tight fit, to be honest, but everything's good. For like a day hike, it has just enough space in it, at least for my needs. And that's coming from somebody with a camera setup and a tripod that I put on the side. So no complaints from me there. In addition, there's also a laptop sleeve. It says, Osprey claims that it can fit 15-inch laptops. I found that not to be true. It's about 13 inches in the sleeve. I usually put my my laptop in the big pocket. Then I'm going to coffee shops instead of trying to squeeze it into the sleeve. I have a 15-inch laptop for reference, so, yep. Okay, next up we're going to talk about longevity and durability. So, like I said, I've had this bag since 2018, and it has held up fantastically. I've had no issues. Nothing is damaged, nothing snapped, like no zippers are missing. I'm just amazed at how just amazingly built this bag is and how I'm not had any issues with it yet. The outside of the bag is still in amazing shape to a degree. It does have some scratches by the Osprey logo here, and it has a ton of giant scratches on the bottom, but that's kind of to be expected with the daily use that I put it through, so pretty good. As for the straps and the zippers, amazing. No issues. Never had anything break. These are the IKK Zippos, and they've been fantastic. The straps, they still clip together. No issues. And, I mean, I don't take care of my stuff. Like, I put stuff in here, and I just try my best to zip it up, even if it shouldn't fit. So, like, these zippers have been subject to so much abuse, and there's no issues with them. It's amazing. And then as for the inside of the bag, it has held up fantastically. Like, of course, there's some stains and whatnot from like snacks and like sunscreen and that sort of thing. But there's no damage to anything. Like the little compartments in the front pocket, they're still hidden up just fine. And yeah, super impressed with the longevity. And keep in mind, this is a backpack that I've been using pretty much every day since mid-2018. And it's not an expensive backpack either. We're not looking at something that's like $600. I think you can buy this new for $80, $90, maybe $100. So it's not expensive, it's not super high-end, and yet it has just held up so fantastically over the years. So I'm guessing it's obvious, but I like my backpack a lot. The Daylite has just been fantastic for me over the last couple of years that I've been using it. So before we finish out this video, I just want to go over my like positives and negatives list again. So positives, it's lightweight, it's comfortable, the longevity is great. I haven't had any issues with it, and it's just big enough for like a day out in the city or like a 10 to 13-ish mile day hike, I think, for me. For what I need to carry, the camera, my Nalgene, hydro flask, that sort of thing. The negatives, honestly, they're a little bit nitpicky, but the side pockets, I hate the side pockets. They're pretty much useless to me, unless, like I said, I'm carrying my tripod or I have like flip-flops, like if I'm going to the beach or something, then they're fantastic. But besides that, I can't think of any major negatives that I don't like about it. Like I said, I've been using this since 2018, pretty much every single day. I've used it for hiking. I've used it to take my laptop to the coffee shop. I've used it for just like overnight stays in hotels and like, basic camping and that sort of thing. So yeah, I like it a lot. And I think that for the price point, it is the best day pack you can currently get on the market. So yeah, thanks for watching, guys. I appreciate it, and I hope you found this review helpful. If you liked it, consider liking the video and subscribing, YouTube stuff. Thanks.